Welcome back to our podcast where we talk about all things. It's giving beauty,
fashion,
pop culture, and a lot of kiki. I'm your pop culture baddie.
And your fashionable Scorpio.
So join us, Mommy Tiff
And Chan.
as we get feminine chaotic.
What?
It's the name of the podcast, Feminine Chaos. Duh.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Hi, lovers.
I'm Chan.
And I'm Tiff. And this is the Feminine Chaos Podcast. Okay, Miss Chandler. Channy Chan. How's your week?
My week was indeed weeking.
Okay. Per usual.
As per usual, I would like to let y'all know, Black women in corporate, new microaggressions have just dropped. So y'all stay safe out there.
Okay. So, you know, that transition from Black History Month into Women's Month. Let's talk about it. No.
Honestly, we could really get to it. Not today, but one day.
One day.
We could.
Right.
And really should get to it.
Period.
How was your week?
You know, I had a week. Week was weeking as per usual.
As per usual.
Today was actually a little bit of a crazy day for me because I worked in the early part of my day in a cafe, which was cute. You know, I had my little salmon cream cheese, onion capers, bagel, I did. And I had a lavender cold brew.
Oh, you're not allergic to that?
No, I'm not, bitch.
Oh,
Thank you.
Oh,
She's she's a flower.
You better watch those B words.
Before you end up in the ocean.
End up over there in the ocean.
No, I'm not allergic to lavender. But it was really good, cool, immaculate vibes. The reason why I worked out of a cafe today in Midtown specifically was because I had a shoot at Planet Fitness because my day job specifically had a brand deal. You know, we walked up in there with our workout clothes and a full beat on, and, you know, all the men was looking at us like, ugh, women. Talking about something, what y'all doing in here? No, but we had a good time filming in there, but there definitely were men who would like come up to the machines behind us like, can I use that? And we were like, we're actually making a commercial for Planet Fitness. Now get the fuck out my face. We didn't say that. But you know, essentially, that's what we said in nice terms. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I was telling Chandler earlier, y'all, like, for some reason, I got a little outside itch. And I'm not talking spring allergies. I'm talking, I don't know, might be outside tonight.
We're not going to be outside tonight. We're going to our friend's house. But I feel the outside itch. I understand. I just need my schedule to light up a little bit more before the itch really starts to consume.
Yeah, no facts. Because what's summertime
I can't be outside with this schedule. I can't. I can't be lit on a Thursday night with the sun up still at 9 p.m. with this type of schedule. I want to be asleep. So she got to wrap it up quickly while the weather is still a little bit cold.
Yeah.
Because when June hit, not even when May hits, I'm fucking active.
Right. Something talking about some, you won't break my soul. That's exactly what I hear playing in the near future. Okay? Very near.
You can play anything and I'm going to be outside shaking that ass.
All right. Shout out to the Brooklyn rooftop.
Hey, shout out to the Brooklyn rooftops. You just might heal me.
Right. Hey. I'm dead. We skipped the summer. We even talk about spring.
Oh, no, I fuck with spring. I do. I like spring.
I don't. Fuck spring because the way
not
that...
too much on her.
No, everything on her because we've had 2 warm days and why did my eyes itch?
It's not spring.
Girl, my eyes only itch because pollen come out.
I'm sorry you have allergies, but the rest of us, we like this.
Chandler has allergies, first of all.
But not like that, girl, because I be outside and my eyes don't be itching.
Any fucking ways. I have a new eczema flare-up.
Yep. Not me.
What you mean, yeah? Anyways, so actually, I have a lot more to say of what I've been through this week. I had 2 doctor's appointments. One, I had to go to the dermatologist and get a piece of my skin biopsied. What is it called? Biopsy?
I don't know. You went to the doctor.
You know what? I'm sick of her today. But yeah, I had to get my skin taken off. But they think I'm having like some form of diasporic eczema, which is like, you see these bumps? You see these bumps?
You got all these bumps.
You got all these bumps?
You got eczema?
You got eczema? So honestly, it probably is eczema. But I made them take a biopsy just in case. Because I was freaking out. I was like, what's going on with my skin?
Well, let's get into the episode.
You know what? What Oprah say? Were you silent or were you being silenced?
Because you will fully sit here for 20 minutes to talk about that.
Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the polls.
Is love blind? Or can love really see? If you don't know, this past Wednesday, March 6th, the final episodes prior to the reunion of Love is Blind,
the finale,
season 6, have been released. Our couples, Jeremy and Laura, Kenneth and Brittany.
Are you going back that far?
No, I'm just giving the couples of the season.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
The couples, Jeremy and Laura, Kenneth and Brittany, Clay and AD, Jimmy and Chelsea, and Johnny and... What's that girl name?
Amy.
And Johnny and Amy. You see, I don't forget them because they didn't get much screen time this season.
They were the
couple that got... Oh, wait. Spoilers.
Well, we don't even have to get into that yet. I was just going to say they're the only couple that was peaceful.
Oh, yes, peaceful. But this, there will be spoilers.
Yes. So if you have not watched the finale episode of Love is Blind,
please scroll.
Honestly, just come back because we're about to air it all out.
As we talk about the Love is Blind finale, I would like to focus our sights on two couples. Before we talk about these main two couples, congratulations to Johnny and Amy. They were the only couple out of 5 engagements that were to get married this year.
Vanessa Lachey, Nikki Lachey.
So congrats to them. They were boring as fuck, but they look happy.
Honestly, I'm happy that they were boring as fuck.
No, for real.
Because we needed a one sane couple this season. Mm-hmm. So fuck it. If they were boring, they like it. I love it. As far as I'm concerned.
Before we get into the hot topic, let's talk Jimmy and Megan Fox. Ooh, I mean Chelsea. Now, if you have not watched the episode, let me set the scene.
I'm fucking done.
They're sitting outside on a patio. They're having appetizers. It's looking like it's some sliders out there. It's a couple drinks, some French fries. Nightfall. Chelsea has fully just picked out her wedding dress. The bachelorette party is in 2 to 3 days.
Yes.
And Jimmy is talking about how much he loves her, how he wants to build with her, how her day went, da-da-da-da. And Chelsea is reveling in the perfectness that she believes her relationship to be. Jimmy then proceeds to sit up in her face over these burgers, over these alcoholic drinks, over this ice water at nightfall.
Damn, was you at the date?
I was at the date. Damn, I just bumped
Chandler.
I was at the date. Over nightfall, and proceeds to tell her he didn't want to go to the altar. Before we get into any commentary, I want to say what I need to say about this. I don't blame Jimmy at all, and let me tell you why. Chelsea's insecurities fully and 100% killed their relationship.
Oh yeah.
If I tell you something in confidence
and you bring that shit on screen,
I ask you not to talk about it on television,
national television,
international television at that,
yeah,
and then you weaponize that and bring it on television
more than once,
and you had to say, well, that was how I felt. Yeah, no, and this is how I feel. I don't want to be with you.
Wrap it up.
Now, the one thing I will give Chelsea, he fully fucked this girl, and now, the best friend, and now she's sitting, he's sitting up in her face. They kiki on the phone all damn day. You might as well go be with the girl because it's definitely you want to be with her. So I do give Chelsea, but being uncomfortable with that. I don't think it's the most rational, but I think I could give her that.
Okay, but Chelsea, I'm not going to give her that.
But Chelsea also had her issues because the first person she called outside of the pods when they got engaged was her ex, and that was weird too.
She said in the pods that she was friends with her ex.
Yes, that's what I said. So I was like,
right, but she tried to, but no, because I just, not you, but specifically Chelsea tried to sit there and say, I'm not even that close with him. We just have mutual friends.
Oh, she was fucking lying.
Girl, if the first person you called was your ex when you got out them pods, y'all, it's more than y'all got mutual friends. Y'all are friends, and that's okay.
And that's fine.
But the thing is that, mind you, you had sex with your ex, so let's not do that, right?
We're in a relationship.
Right. Not only having sex, which people can definitely have sex and then realize they're better as friends, but for you to be in a whole relationship with somebody and they're still that close to you and you're looking for a person of love.
In partnership. And that's why I said, I can see, I guess, where she's coming from.
I can't see where she's coming from because you have that.
I didn't say I thought it was rational or that I would do the same, but but
if you have a skeleton in your closet and I have the same skeleton in my closet,
her insecurities wouldn't let her see that she had the same skeleton.
1 = 2
to us, not to her.
She said the sky is green. That's what she she's saying.
I just think that she was so insecure that this relationship never would have worked. But what I will say, Jimmy didn't want it to work from the beginning when he saw what she looked like. And Chelsea's not an ugly woman.
No, she's a beautiful woman. We've already discussed it.
She should have never sat up in those pods and said that she looked like Megan Fox, because Jimmy was like, oh, I got me a fucking bad bitch.
The thing...
And then when those doors opened, he was like, oh, she's not looking how I expected her to look, and he's not attracted to her.
The issue is that's why you have to be very careful when, like, first of all, y'all not even supposed to be discussing looks.
Thank you.
So that's really where y'all fuck the experiment up. But what I will say is that I don't care if Chelsea was the carbon copy, lost twin of Megan Fox. You should never compare yourself to how somebody else looks, because even if she did look like Megan Fox, I feel like somehow people would, like, if she looked exactly like Megan Fox, I feel like somehow people will still try to clock her. At the end of the day, people are always gonna find something wrong with something, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like when people go into this experiment, you need to really keep looks out of it. And that goes across the board, because they were not the only couple that dealt with, oh, well, what do you look like?
Yeah. I also think Love is Blind is not a show for the insecure, and it's not a show for the weak.
It's not.
Because also you're opening yourself up to not only what's happening in and outside of the pods, but you're opening yourself up to social media. You're directly, literally the world.
News.
You're putting yourself directly in the line of fire on Twitter for niggas to say what they want about you unfiltered. Yeah. You need to be extremely secure. Chelsea should have never gone on the show.
There's a lot of people who should have never gone on the show for various reasons. Insecurity. They didn't want to get married. There was a lot of reasons why.
Get into that.
And we will get into that. But the thing is that, and truthfully, like, I really am rooting for Chelsea, because as a woman, I've had my moments where I've been insecure. And I know how, like, your insecurities can really overpower you and overpower your mindset. And I think she did take to TikTok and say she now is in therapy and has been looking a lot back on this season and has learned a lot of things about herself. So I applaud her for doing that work, because it is very hard to sit there and try to analyze who you are as a person when you really get down to it. And so God bless her heart. I will say again, I think she's a beautiful girl, but when you have these insecurities, it will mess with your head and it will prevent you from success. It'll prevent her from, you have to love yourself before you let somebody else love you. And that's just really what it comes down to.
And she didn't.
She could have been Beyonce and have the same insecurities that she has currently. If you do not love yourself and you are not whole with yourself, do not go on this show. You have to love yourself before... I don't want to repeat myself, but y'all know.
Okay, well, that wraps up Jimmy and Chelsea. Let's talk about...
AD all day! AD all day!
Let's talk about it.
And Clayton.
Clay and AD. Now, just in case y'all don't know, Clay, let me set the scene.
Okay.
It's mid-afternoon. I'm AD. I'm in my dressing room, and I'm just so excited to marry the man of my dreams.
Mother and family hyping you up.
Let me set even more of the scene. This man that I'm so deeply in love with, my soulmate, the man of my dreams, sat up here on national television and talked about how he was scared to cheat on me. He talked about how he was not a good enough man for me. He talked about how, you know, he was really fucked up and he needed therapy and he could not lead.
Did he say he needed therapy?
Yes.
Okay, I remember that part.
He said that. He also said that he was a man that could not lead me, and AD said that she was going to be there through this with him. Okay. Now, I put on a dress, slit so high that if I walked too far, you could see my vagina. Okay.
I'm weak.
Slit so high.
I wasn't looking at her dress that hard.
Fashion Nova Brides. I walked down the aisle.
Not too much on the dress.
No, the dress was not cute, but anyway, I walked down the aisle, and the first thing my husband, the man I'm supposed to marry, says to me, "Okay, body." I'm sorry. Okay, what?
How are we still sexualizing AD at the altar?
Then she says, in return, I'm sorry, because it's supposed to be me. I say, in return, you see the material. Okay. Then,
ooh,
this man that is supposed to lead me, this man that I'm supposed to marry, says, you got that shit on though at the wedding? That fully, like, I had to pause the TV and I rolled my eyes so hard that I thought they would get stuck in the back of my head. Stuck. Fully stuck. And then the pastor, you know, the man that marries us. No, the officiant. Sorry. The
officiator.
Oh, I don't think it's that. Anyway.
Officiate?
Anyway, the nigga that's licensed to marry us talks about, is love truly blind? I get up there and I spill my entire heart out to you about
in front
how
of my
love
family,
you, in front of my family, my friends, everywhere, everybody, and you sit up there and respond.
AD,
you respond.
I really love you,
but I don't think it's responsible for me to be married right now. Then proceeds to say, and the part where if niggas have nothing, they have audacity. He said, I know you will fight for me. I'm sorry. I said yes. AD, I'm sorry, not AD because it's supposed to be me. I now proceed to walk back down the aisle because you have me fucked up. And then I walk down the aisle. Okay. And everybody is now dispersing. I'm fully upset. You now go up to your cheating father.
Oh my goodness.
And ask him if you should run after me. And this man proceeds to say, yeah, because you don't want to appear indifferent. Why do you need to ask if you should go after me after all this?
But also, why would you
and hurt
say,
you just caused me?
Why would you say appear indifferent? Why would he appear indifferent though?
Why would he appear anything else?
Okay.
So I have a couple things that I take issue with after now setting the scene. Mm-hmm. Why are your first words to me at the altar, okay, body? 2, why are you just now bringing up finances? Because he fully said in that interview to production, I don't know anything about her finances. You didn't think to ask before you joined your life with somebody else's? You didn't think to talk about that?
That's one of the like very early on
That is
questions.
something you need to ask early.
Yeah.
2, you knew what was going to be expected out of you on this show. And it was marriage at the end. Mm-hmm. So for you to get up here and fully say you're not ready for marriage, you knew you weren't ready for marriage a couple weeks ago when you were in the pods.
I was gonna say, he knew that from the beginning.
You knew that from the jump. Another thing, this is a prime example, and this is now on AD. This is about her. This is a prime example of, I feel, of when you only have, where you feel you only have worth in your body. I think AD is a gorgeous woman, but I think she put so much worth in her body that she was willing to put up with Clay's bullshit, because we can only go off what we saw on camera.
Yeah.
But Clay was never really calling her beautiful. He never talked about her personality, but he talked about that body though.
He did.
He stayed talking about that body. Strange. Very, very strange. Clay had red flags from day one. When they were on the honeymoon and he was talking about the gaining weight comment, and even after you have kids, and make sure you go to the gym, because if you gain weight, you got to be looking right, and how, you remember that? Mm-hmm. Clay's father's infidelity caused so much of a rift in Clay and in his mother specifically. I can't speak to the whole family because we haven't seen, nor do we know the whole family. But his mother truly said it, how like Clay doesn't know about commitment. He doesn't want to commit. He's scared to commit. He doesn't even know if marriage is sacred because he saw how you treated me. Mm-hmm. And that's a problem. Mm-hmm. You took your son on infidelity trips, and he kept that secret from his mom. I'd be fucked up too. Now, Clay still got work to do, but it's just kind of like, this unchecked trauma of the father that came from his father, that's ridiculous. And let me just say this is my last point. AD is a very beautiful woman with a lot to offer, but since day one, the writing has been on the wall. It has been 100% clear. Clay told us exactly who he was, what he was gonna do, and I hate that she literally could not see that. And it really upset me to watch her and see her cry about how she felt she wasn't good enough or she's never enough, because I know how that feels. Like, I've definitely been there before. I've had niggas literally look me in. I had a nigga literally look me in my face and tell me that he looked at me differently because I fucked on the first night. And I wasn't wife or marriage material.
There's plenty of women who get married to men who they've had sex with.
Then that same nigga, as we were talking, I'm sitting here thinking we're dating, right? And he goes, one day when I find my wife, the love of my life. Ooh. So I think this is a prime example of you are willing to, when you have a goal of something, specifically the goal of marriage, you overlook these, honestly, black flags. I don't even want to call them red anymore because I feel like the color is brighter and just like deeper than red. But AD, sis, like, we can't want to be chose this bad. I feel sorry, but it's also like, girl, the writing was on the wall.
Okay.
I wish that she would have said no, because I fully thought that
I thought she was gonna say no.
And she was gonna say no.
Yeah, I thought that's what she was gonna do.
And I was like, yeah, AD, like, she not dumb. And I don't think she is dumb, but I do think, like, girl,
I don't think she's dumb at all. You finished your piece?
Yeah, that's all I got to say.
I don't think AD's dumb at all. I think what we are seeing play out in real time, and that should be a life lesson to Black women everywhere. We need to cut the generational trauma of putting up with bullshit.
I agree.
We need to cut it dead at its legs.
Y'all need to get strict.
If Black women can get into therapy, been in therapy, then Black men need to catch up. And that's just how I feel. I cannot go into any form of a relationship if somebody is not actively healing or healed.
Because then they project that onto you, and it now becomes
it's going to show problem. Up. It's going to show up in other ways that they probably don't even realize that they're bringing it into the relationship with. On the Clay piece, now, I'm personally not going to do too much because it was brought to my attention that I know someone in his family.
I'm going to say what I need to say. That's Tiffany's friend.
Don't do that now.
He is your friend. I don't know him.
Yeah. The family member is my friend, but I don't know him personally, Clay. Needless to say, Clay has been brainwashed, and that's very clear, very evident. From what a marriage is supposed to look like, what a healthy marriage is supposed to look like. When he came out and said in that final episode that his father brought him around his mistress.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That gave so much clarity as to why he has this genuine fear of being like, I don't want to cheat, because that's what he was brought up on. That's what was instilled in him, that was okayed, and that you can go and step out on your family and on your person, your wife. And so I don't know if he was in therapy prior to the show, and even if he's in therapy now.
Because he said at the altar he was going to get in therapy.
Okay,
so it seemed like he has not done it.
He should have been in therapy the minute that his parents split.
Agreed.
And the fact that I don't know how they were married 24 years, so I don't know when his parents split, at what age he was. I don't know if he was still a teenager or if he was a full-on adult. But if he was a child, his parents should have immediately put him into therapy, because that.
Well, I understand
Go ahead.
I understand maybe his parents not, or his mother specifically, not putting him into therapy because she had her own shit she needs to work through.
Yeah, but you can both go into therapy when traumatic situations happen in family, and this could just be as simple as divorce, no cheating. A lot of kids do go into therapy because a lot of kids internalize
but not a lot
it.
Of Black kids. Because I think you have to add the race
No,
aspect.
you're and 100% correct. A lot of Black people don't want help.
Exactly.
They don't want help in terms of mental health or physical well-being. Mm-hmm. So that is also another piece. And so, but needless to say, he should have been in therapy. He shouldn't even have been allowed on the show. He shouldn't have been allowed on the show. The vetting to get on this show is not good. It's not good enough. There's absolutely no way that the vetting to get on this show is good enough, because there are way too many people being allowed on this show. Unless y'all are dead lying in the auditions process, there is way too many people on this show who are here for other reasons,
and y'all need to go on The Bachelor.
Other reasons for love, not even The Bachelor, Love Island.
Well, okay, but we know Love Island is for clout. We fully know that, and I think
but
Love Island knows that too. But like,
I think everybody who watches Love Is Blind knows that too. Outside of those very few individuals who do get married,
I think personally, Love is Blind needs to end. It's not blind, it can see, and it's also deaf too. Because some of y'all are hearing these things and still choosing to be and marry and just like put yourself on the line for these people. I personally think after this season, and this goes for everybody involved except for Johnny and Amy, I wish them a long, prosperous marriage and relationship.
Yeah.
And, I hope they're blessed with everything. But y'all need to get strict. And I'm not trying to be funny. Like, when you start dating these people, you need to get strict. And you need to clock the BS early. I don't necessarily believe in leaving at the first red flag, because like I feel like everybody has red flags. You leave at the first one, it's like whatever, but you do need to let them, depending on what it is. But some things can be a conversation of this, so and so and so and so, and then give them an opportunity to change and then go from there. But I think like in situations with Clay, he had so many red flags that it's like, you're doing yourself, your intuition,
a disservice. Yeah. I think
after hearing him, and I'm sure there's probably shit that was said when cameras were not there, but all that we heard while the cameras were rolling, and you sat up there and said yes.
I think really, and this is like a huge mentality that I feel like Black men have, is that, and this could be a pressure that's put on them externally, I don't know, because I'm not a Black man. But what I will say is that from the way that I have viewed it from the outside of the club, it gives very much that Black men at a certain age are like, okay, well, it's time.
Exactly. And I think
and I gotta get married. But if you're not ready, you're not ready. And that's okay. And I genuinely believe that Clay can come back from this and he can find a happy marriage, but he needs to do the work and go to therapy like many others are. Because for him to go through that traumatic situation, like, because I really do feel for him. He was never going to be ready if he never untapped that and did the work that he needed. He was never going to be ready. He could have been 50 years old if he never would have never been ready, would have never been a good husband. If you never sat there and really dissected everything that you went through with your father, it don't matter what age, you were not going to be ready to be committed with somebody because you have been genuinely brainwashed. For AD, something that she needs to work on is her confidence. And
this goes back to the point that I made, when you put all your worth in your body, and because like
she's so much more than that. She's absolutely a beautiful, vibrant person. She's very entrepreneurial. Like, there's so many great aspects about AD, right? And she brings a lot to the table. And I just need her to lean on those other amazing things about her outside of her physical looks.
It's sad. Y'all be on a high alert because
but also too
scary.
And I will say this, because me and Chandler both have our own skeletons. We both have our own red flags and issues. But I think one major thing sorry, y'all. Quiet on set. I think one major takeaway was that Clay literally said he was afraid that he was going to cheat on her. That to me...
Why is that a fear?
That to me is a red flag that you cannot move forward past.
Agree.
Because
when you cheat, because when you finally cheat on me, I can't really be upset. I mean, I can, and I'm going to be, but it's just kind of like, you told me what you were about to do, and it came with time.
Exactly. And that's if it's more of one thing, like and this happened in season 5 where somebody discussed that they had cheated on somebody in the past. Mm-hmm. But if you sit there and you admit, okay, I have cheated on a partner of mine in the past, but since then I have done X, Y, and Z. I've worked on this to be a better person and show up as a better partner. I can't be mad at that.
I also think while we do have our own skeletons and our own shit, we didn't come on a show where the end goal was marriage.
Oh, because I'm
not ready. I'm
not ready for marriage.
Not only am I not ready, I'm just not doing that. 2, we are both fully in therapy. I go to therapy weekly. Therapy weekly for the past year. Mm-hmm. Okay? Same lady. I talk to her once a week for a year. Okay?
My therapist be tearing my ass
up
on
some
Tuesday
of y'all
nights.
Need to feel what that feels like.
She said,
weekly for a year.
My therapist said, Are you avoidant?
Yes, like she be getting. Let me not say her name on here, but she be gathering me together. And some of y'all need to get in. Like, therapy's not bad. I think, like, you go to therapy even when you do feel good, so you're able to identify. I think a lot of y'all's issue is
you do not need to have a problem to go to therapy.
Exactly. You go to therapy for 6 to 8 weeks, you be like, okay, bitch, I'm healed. No. You need to stay
healing
in that bitch.
Healing is an active... Honestly, they say healing could take a lifetime.
It does.
Yeah. And, like...
shit happens every day. There is some shit that happened a couple hours ago that fucked my whole day up. It did. And I fully am going to talk about that in therapy.
Yeah.
Every day. You need to talk to somebody that is unbiased and just like that also
has a degree on the study of the brain
in mental health and psychotherapy.
Yeah.
You just need to go. You need to go. And I'm tired of y'all's excuses for not wanting to.
Yeah.
I understand there is a monetary barrier, but some of the shit y'all be saying, talking about some I don't need to go like real niggas don't go to therapy. It's like, what the you sound dumb.
It's very much, not only do you sound dumb, you sound weak. Because you sit there and you don't even realize that something is holding you back from being the best version of yourself.
But they don't think that anything's holding them back.
And if you really want to be a quote unquote leader in this world, I really don't even like that term of, well, me and my mom were talking about this. I said, Mom, has anyone ever, like, you know, told you about, like, the man is supposed to lead the relationship? My mom said, excuse me? I ain't grew up in that type of household. I grew up in a household where both parents worked their ass off, both parents provided, and both parents protected one of another and protected their children, period.
Yeah, also, stop getting your dating advice off of social media. A lot of couples go 50-50.
Stop listening
or even split equitably, you know. A lot of couples, just like the shit they talk about on social media, do not pertain that or apply that to your real relationship. Let's use critical thinking.
Yes, but also too, I'm not splitting nothing with nobody till I get married.
No. I'm not talking about splitting dates or things like that, but I'm talking about when people move in together, like when you get to the stage of where we're paying bills.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna split
married,
the rent.
It's very normal that people split rent, or it's like, okay, you make more than me, so we're splitting rent 70-30. You know, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about first date, split the check. No. No. Okay, I'm not talking about that. Even as a gay woman, if I ask you out on the date, I am paying the whole bill and the tip. Because some of y'all, oh, can you tip? What? Anyway. Yeah, just stop getting your advice off of Twitter and TikTok and
social media.
Social media from,
and people who are not licensed
not
in relationships. A lot of y'all are getting your advice from people who have no license.
Are they even married? Let's talk about that.
A lot of these people on the internet who be giving you advice on how to get somebody don't have somebody themselves. And I need y'all. And also too, and this is to any man watching the podcast, because I know some of y'all do watch this podcast. If you are a traditional man, get from round me. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Let me sit back. That's not my ministry.
When I get to these dates, some of the things that come out these men's mouths.
Can you get an example?
Deplorable.
Let's get an example.
Deplorable. So how do you feel about gay and trans people?
Oh, somebody asked you that?
No, I asked that.
Oh.
Because I want to know.
And what was the response?
I've gotten different responses. A lot of people be like, oh, I don't care how people identify and what their sexual preferences are. And then there's some people who are like, I could not have a gay child. Okay. Them crickets was loud.
The silence was loud.
But y'all, listen, I'm just saying, if you're a traditional man, especially because everything that I present and give is modern women. I don't want nobody telling me what to do.
CEO, girl, boys.
Boss and CEO here.
You have been promoted.
Right.
You are now one of my elite employees.
Shout out to Boss and CEO. On the TikToks. No, but for real, get from around me because I'm very much what they like to call a modern woman. Listen, I grew up in a household where you work and you build a life for yourself, and when you find your person, y'all mold that life together. And I've always grew up with a working mom. Always grew up with a strong, independent mother and a father who championed my mother. A father who gave me examples of other women out here doing their motherfucking damn thing. Shout out to my daddy.
I also think, and this is, we can get into this later, but part of the issue is that y'all have taken the friendship out of the relationship. You need to be friends before anything. Because if you are friends and you like them, you have a level of respect for them.
Yes. Okay.
And I feel like some of y'all are forgetting that. 2, I don't know if maybe like y'all need to read more. And this is not me like throwing shade or trying to be funny. I don't know if y'all need to read more or even like exercise your social skills more. But some of y'all truthfully cannot hold a conversation. And it is painful when I sit through these dates and the deepest we can get to is what is your favorite color? Like small talk for 2 fucking hours. It's ridiculous. And as a certified yapper, a full-time yapper, it actually pains me. It makes dating so hard. So yeah, the dating pool is shit. I understand everybody has their own stuff to work on, but it's just kind of like, I mean, damn.
They need to put some bleach in the dating pool quickly.
Okay, clean the piss up.
Yeah, it's a cesspool for sure. Let's talk about what's going on with the Cyrus family.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, so recently the Cyrus family has been in the news for a multitude of different things. But the one thing we're going to be talking about today is the relationships that are going on within the Cyrus family. Headlines have been saying recently that Noah Cyrus and her mother Tish Cyrus have possibly been seeing the same person, and there's a lot of alleged things going on, but let's go ahead and break down the math of it all, the history of the Cyrus family, because as we know, for many years, a lot of us were first introduced to Billy Ray Cyrus, then to his daughter Miley Cyrus, aka Destiny. No, I'm playing.
I'm crying.
During her Disney days in her being a star as Hannah Montana. But needless to say, after Miley's speech at the Grammys for accepting her first Grammy Award, shout out to her.
Shout out Miley for flowers.
For flowers. That's a good ass bop ass song.
I can buy myself
flowers.
Write my name in the sand.
Hey.
Okay.
But yeah, needless to say, she intentionally left out her father in her list of thank yous during her acceptance speech. All right, so let's go ahead and go back into some time. So basically, how did we get here? Well, let's start at the beginning where Billy Ray Cyrus and Tish Cyrus finally decided to call it quits. So Billy Ray and Tish had been trying to divorce actually twice before they officially cut ties. Once was back in 2010. The second time was in 2013. But after those 2 times, they decided, we want to continue this. We want to see, how this marriage can continue to blossom. But officially in 2022, they decided to call it quits. Now, sometime later in 2022, Tish slid into Dominic, and Dominic as in Dominic Purcell from the Prison Break series.
How old is he?
Ooh, we will be getting into that. Don't you worry.
A little bit older.
Yes. Tish slid into Dominic's DMs, and that's where the romance began. But wait, hold it there. But when did this rumor exactly start of Noah potentially seeing Dominic? Well, just to give context, Noah is 24 years old. Our age. Dominic is 54 years old.
Oh, I didn't know he was that old. Okay.
To give that context. But anyways, basically a trusted source had told US Weekly that in late February, Noah was seeing Dominic first. But then the Daily Mail reported a completely different story, saying that their source claimed that Dominic and Noah never dated and that Noah was creating this lie to play victim in an ongoing feud that she had with her mother Tish.
Yeah, because they're all fully beefing right now. Like the family is very much split in half.
It is. Now, let's pause. What's going on with Billy Ray Cyrus? Well, in November of 2022, Billy Ray actually got engaged to a singer called Fire Rose. They made a song actually together back in 2021, but they originally met on the set, I think, of Hannah Montana back in the Disney days. And then, just to give more background, now we're going to fast forward to August 2023. Tish gets married to Dominic at Miley's Malibu house. And Noah and her brother Brazen were not present at the wedding.
Well,
in October of 2023, Billy Ray and Fire Rose both get married. There isn't any confirmation on whether or not any of the Cyrus children attended. And in February of this year, during the win of Miley's very first Grammy, like I mentioned earlier, she did not include her father in her list of thank yous. And I quote said, "I don't think I forgot anyone, but I might have forgotten underwear. Bye." Now, there is a lot going on here. The issue is that this story is very much alleged, and it doesn't make it any better that there are two conflicting sources in two different news media outlets. The way that the media has completely taken off with this story and really has basically confirmed, oh, well.
Yeah, because I also didn't, the way the story had been portrayed, I didn't know that they got married last summer. So I'm like, why is this in the news today? Because it's March. If they got married in summer of 2023, it's almost a whole year later. Why are we just not talking about it?
Yes, the news, well, because basically the news didn't come out until after they got married.
How late did... Oh, so it
came out... So
the
news came out, like, this year. So the articles of US Weekly was posted in late February, just to give that context. Yes.
Okay.
So, and then literally a day or two after, Daily Mail put out this completely, like, basically debunking what US Weekly put out.
But also, The Cut put out an article as well. We know the Daily Mail is not known to be the most accurate.
Right.
So I think...
But the thing is that the rest of these social media outlets, the rest of these news and media outlets have used US Weekly as the source. So that being said, everything is still very much alleged, but the media has completely taken off with this story. So we cannot sit here, confirm or deny whether or not Noah did see Dominic. And that also too, there's also been rumors of that Dominic was seeing both Noah and Tish at the same time. So that's even more messier if that is the situation.
54?
He is 54 years old.
Oh.
I Googled it. Needless to say, y'all, if this story is indeed true that Noah Cyrus was seeing Dominic and then the mother Tish later on, the matriarch, slid into his DMs and went after him for herself. How do you feel about that?
I think the whole thing is messy. Obviously, this is alleged, so going off the alleged information,
yeah,
Tish is wrong. What's his name? Dominic is also wrong. Mm-hmm. My first thing I kind of take issue with is, why are you 54 fully involved with a 24-year-old? That's issue number one. Forget the fact that you allegedly were messing with a mother and a daughter. That's first and foremost. Second of all, maybe I don't know if I'm trying to give anybody the benefit of the doubt, but because the family has been in rifts for so long, I'm did Tish maybe not know that they were messing with each other? Were Noah and this man fully openly dating, or because I was hearing that they were not openly dating.
Benefits. That's what. So this is the issue, and this is what the real enemy here is, the media, and I want to clock that, because when this family has been through so much,
so I was like, if Tish didn't know, she didn't know,
right?
And if your daughter's not speaking to you, then you really don't know.
I don't tell my mother who I'm having friends with benefits with, period.
Exactly. But I'm especially if I don't think they were speaking at all. I don't want to say no contact, but it's the family is fully they
have issues outside of the romantic things, yes.
Right.
The romantic relationships. But needless to say, I really hope this isn't true, but also too, the way that the media had fully almost convinced me that this was a dead for certain truth is a huge problem. Because if I didn't do the extensive research and the journalism work, if you will, to be able to not even debunk this, but have to call it alleged because we don't know if it's true or not. And that, like, and that's crazy.
Nothing's been confirmed on anybody's end, right?
Nothing has been solidified. Like, Noah nor Tish has come out and spoke about this. No one in the Cyrus family.
Thursday, March 7th, because something could very well happen in between the time we edit and drop this episode. Yeah. But as of Thursday, March 7th, nobody has confirmed anything.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say. It's messy. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's messy from the outside, right? Like, I think the optics of it are messy, but like, if my daughter's not speaking to me and I don't know anything that she's doing, this is also a man you've never spoken about. He's never come around, and he's quite clearly my age or in my age range, and I proceed to date him.
They're like 2 years separated.
I mean, sure. I think the blame is more on this man because you know my daughter, you know me, and then you proceed to marry me. So, like, Tish could be finding out at the same time we're finding out that this was her sneaky link.
But also, too, could we put the blame on the man if it is the truth? Well,
that's what I said. I said my blame is on the man.
If this is the truth, we need to stop trying to pit women and women together. I understand in this particular circumstance that if it is
this
true,
not even woman to woman. This is mother daughter. Like, this is deeper than
this is family ties.
Woman. This is my mom.
Family ties.
I also think that the family truly like must be very broken to the point that if I have no contact with my mother, but I find out my mother is fully about to marry the man that I was sleeping with, I would have to call her.
Yeah, I
have to call her. I'd be like, girl, what?
Yeah.
So that if that happened, this is a different story. Obviously, we don't know. But at this point right now, my blame is on the man.
Yeah, same.
But that's all I got to say.
Yeah, and I think that's all we got for...
That's all we have for the polls, y'all.
But we're about to get into the...
Let's get into our speed roundup, our hot one-liners, and call-outs in pop culture. Risa Tisa was signed to the leading talent agency, CAA. Congrats to her. Kylie Jenner is coming out with a canned vodka soda that is only 100 calories.
Should we try it out on the pod?
Let us know. IHOP and Applebee's are combining forces and will be opening joint locations. There are already a few joint locations open already. Now, I don't eat IHOP.
I don't need to see that. I don't need to see that.
But I think that the combining of the two is crazy that I felt the need to call that out. Chris Brown is at risk of losing his home and car after the $2 million lawsuit with Popeyes. He has 30 days to pay $1.76 million back because he tried to open a franchise and did not hold up his end of the bargain, so therefore he has to return the money. Nicki Minaj is dropping Pink Friday Nails, a line of press-ons coming soon. Flo is releasing their highly anticipated debut album this summer.
I'm so excited. Flow like this.
Ariana Grande is dropping a reimagined version of Brandy and Monica's hit song "The Boy Is Mine," and by the time y'all hear this podcast, her album, her highly anticipated album, will be out. Very exciting. And The Devil Wears Prada is coming to Broadway and will be a musical starring Vanessa Williams.
And Vanessa Williams will be starring as who? Miranda Priestly.
Thank you, Editor-in-Chief.
Yes.
Thank you. And let's get into our viral clip of the week.
Ivy Rodriguez, that little Mexican girl, they be crying. 0 out of 10.
Now, I will fully say, I saw that video before it went viral, so I want to say I was there. I discovered it.
I'm weak.
Crumble cookies are not known to be good.
I've seen a lot of celebrities give reviews like they so good though. I'm like, what's the budget on these celebrities?
I think they're too big. It's a lot of filling. I don't know. I like my cookies very simple, very plain, but the girls love it. So,
hey.
But yeah, 0 out of 10. But anyway, let's get into some TikTok news. So Dante Coley, a known choreographer on TikTok who has over 1 million followers, created a viral dance to FTCU, or Fuck the Club Up by Nicki Minaj, which garnered millions of views and millions of likes on the app.
Off of the Pink Friday 2 album, just to give that context.
When Nicki's tour started, a video was released of Nicki's dancers doing choreo that was strikingly similar
in rehearsals
to the viral dance that he made. And to me, after seeing both videos, it looked exact. Not strikingly similar. It was exact. So allegedly, it gave stolen. Mm-hmm. He made a video about it on TikTok and tweeted a couple things about how he felt that this work was very similar and he felt that he had been stolen from. Nicki then proceeded to respond with a tweet to Dante Coley and said, I thought a lady Zara made it up, thought she was an artist having fun with it. So glad the Barbs brought it to my attention in time. In parentheses, making me proud as always. I'll have Casper, who is her lead choreographer and dancer, reach out to this very talented and seemingly very sweet guy ASAP to figure out the best way to make him feel seen and appreciated and paid. Hashtag Pink Friday 2, hashtag Gag City Tour. Coley was apparently reached out to by Bo Casper Smart, who is her choreographer and dancer on Nicki's team. And they offered him less than $100 for his work and some exposure to be able to dance with her on stage.
Less than $100?
Now, we're going to slip in this clip of him talking about this offer that was given to him.
Whoa. I don't blame y'all for having this reaction based on what you were told, but let me just set the record straight here. I did not decline any concert tickets. I didn't decline the opportunity for a meet and greet. I didn't demand. I asked for the opportunity to perform on stage, and that wasn't a possibility, so we moved on. I was offered an amount that was under $100, and I was told that $2,000 is for a song, and that I would be prorated an amount for an 8 count. I would never consider selling my work for that amount. I really appreciate Nicki for tweeting and saying that she wanted to make things right. However, the person that she's put in charge has not made this a positive experience. And all I've asked for is for her to repost the original video and to tag me, just like the other videos. And if that's not possible, to just remove the choreo. I come online, the choreo's in the show, and there's no video. And the only reason why I posted today was because I was being tagged in concert footage with people saying that I was paid, hired, etc. And that is not true. I have to stick up for myself because no one's gonna stick up for me.
Less than $100? I did not see that.
This has now sparked major talk on TikTok regarding creatives not being taken seriously for their work and people thinking that their work, quote unquote, isn't that hard and that we should, quote unquote, take what we can get. Because there was another TikTok of a woman that came out saying that he should have networked and it was fuck the $100 because it was only an 8 count. But if I already have the team contact and we are in talks and I've already worked with major names, major people, I have millions of followers, and I already at the top of the top have that contact and you offered me $100, what more networking can I do? I already got the phone number and you said this is what the best you could offer me. I don't want that. So the question is, should content creators and creatives take exposure as payment for hard work? And why is this something that's so common, especially among Black creatives, that people just think that we should just pay our dues and just like take what we can get because exposure. But exposure with no pay, don't keep my lights on.
Well, I think this is a thing, honestly, beyond just creative work. Like, a lot of Black people are always looking for a discount. A lot of Black people don't want to compensate other Black people for the full price because of the fact that we all struggling together. No, Nicki Minaj can come up off of way more than $100. 8 count or not, she's doing that at every show on the tour.
$100 is actually disrespectful.
$100 is a penny of what she's getting. So, you know, I'm really flabbergasted as to the term of representation that Nicki has when it comes to choreography. Because obviously Nicki didn't speak to him directly, but he deserves a lot more for that. But also, too, if you look at his videos, and I've been watching his videos because me and Chandler have been sending them back and forth to one another for a while now, this man is so nice.
No, he's so nice, but also, like, he's the real deal, y'all. Like, he can dance. He can choreograph. This is not no little 8 count TikTok dance he made. Like, this man truly does this for a living.
But even
if it was some little 8 count, hit the whoa TikTok dance that I made up in my bedroom, you need to compensate me as such.
Yeah, if you want to take my work and replicate it on stage,
yes.
Yeah, I should get because this is right next to these white creators who steal these dances and don't give dance credit. Yeah. That's what this is.
And now you
adding on
shaking
to that,
your hips on Jimmy Fallon, and you living in $1 million houses and driving $100,000 cars because you stole from me.
Yeah.
But your get back, your payback to me was tagging me in the caption.
The way we both took a deep breath said it all.
Tiffany, you fully resonate with this. Like, as a creative, especially when you put your work on social media, and I think that is the scary part of putting your work on social media, because anybody can fully steal from you.
Yes.
And make it their own, because that is that gray area that we're in with IP, intellectual property.
Yeah.
But stop telling creatives, more specifically Black creatives, that we need to take what we can get.
And also too, as a Black creative, you have to protect yourself.
It's insulting. It is insulting. Protect yourself. These are not easy jobs. These little 8 counts. Okay, I want to see you get up there and make a little 8 count. I want to see you get up there and edit a really good video.
Y'all took it for a reason, right?
Exactly. You took it for a reason, and you took it as your own. And even if that lady, quote, Zara, made it up, whoever that is, did y'all reach out to her for payment? You probably didn't.
No.
So stop doing
Well, they clearly didn't, because they couldn't even confirm whether or not it was from this lady.
Exactly. Stop doing this to Black creatives, and that's all I have to say. Not even stop doing this to people, period.
Yeah.
But that's all I got to say.
Black people specifically. Something that me and Shannon have been told time and time over again recently is that you need to add a Black tax, because they're always underpaying you.
Yes.
And I
add Black tax.
Yeah. I have to at this point, because I am, one thing about me, and you can ask anyone who's followed me for years, you can ask any of my friends or my family, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into my content. I work around the clock to get content out. So best believe if you take something of mine,
oh yeah, no, there will be problems,
and do not credit me in any sort of way,
problems will be had.
You gonna hear from me. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on.
Let's move on. Let's get into fashion and beauty. Our segment, Girl, Let's Talk. Now, it's not brand trip season, but as you know, last week we talked about Tarte and Bora Bora. Mm-hmm. I would like to piggyback off of that and talk about a little theory I have currently about Tarte's marketing strategy.
Okay.
Which I think, well, let's get into it. So, the strategy is Tarte Cosmetics, the only marketing that works for them are brand trips. Let's get into it. Mm-hmm. The only marketing that truly works for a brand, for Tarte, is the brand trip, because they do major ones every single year, and it's looking like they funnel all this marketing dollars and all this marketing money into these brand trips every year. So I need you to walk with me for a second. Mm-hmm. The social engagement for a beauty brand that has 10 million followers, which is high for a beauty brand, on Instagram, is very, very up and down. But Tarte operates in a very any press is good press type of attitude. And you can see it when they drop product lines that have 10 shades of white and 1 shade of black. You can see it when Maureen Kelly was talking about an issue as sensitive as race. Maureen Kelly is the CEO, as sensitive as race. And while she was talking about it, was doing a Get Ready With Me and was curling her hair while you're talking about race. You've already signified to me that you don't care, right? I don't know anybody in real life that wears Tarte. I also follow a lot of beauty creators, makeup artists, Black and white. None of them, at least from my knowledge that I've seen, use Tarte in videos. The only people I've ever seen market Tarte are people that go on brand trips, 1, and 2, people that are in paid partnership with them. I've never seen anybody be like, oh my God, this product. What really solidified that Tarte's marketing was bad for me, and I fully talked about this on TikTok, they invited a lot of Black women on this trip. Mm-hmm. A Black-owned brand that is super hot right now, that is doing extremely well in sales and in marketing, is topicals.
Yes.
It seemed as if a lot of the black women teamed up and got on one of the private jets to Bora Bora. Cool.
I saw that.
They panned between all the women. Almost every single one of them are wearing topicals eye patches. That goes to show to me that your branding is so good that you're getting exposure on another brand trip. But you could hold up a blank Tarte product right now and I could not tell you it's from Tarte. Could not tell you. The branding and the marketing behind it.
Other than that purple.
But that's only on like the Shape Tape. If you hold up any of the other products, I could not tell you. Quite simply could not tell you. Here's the piece. One of the reasons that they take these major influencers on these brand trips is for the relationships with them to earn EMV. Now, EMV is earned media value. For those that don't know, EMV is a marketing metric that is used to quantify the value of social media content, and it's the amount of money that a brand can expect to receive from positive, and positive is the key word, positive mentions that you build in any form of digital media. So when you build these relationships with these influencers, to whom you're sending free product to, okay, that's also key. You're helping Tarte make money off digital and social media. And basically these brand trips over the years have been building so much EMV for Tarte that Tarte is one of the only beauty brands that has some of the highest EMV. They're up there with like Dior. I want to say Fenty and a couple other brands. They were top 10 highest in 2023, top 10 highest in 2022. But the only time I could tell you that people were talking about Tarte was when they were having those fucking brand trips.
Yeah.
So my main question is, and this is what I want to bring to you, you can only have but so much EMV, right? You could have $1 billion worth of EMV, and yes, it's going to keep your company afloat, but the reason you have this beauty brand is to sell product. If you're not selling product, the relationship that you're building with these people is like null and void. Your business is not successful.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, you're making money and maybe you can stay afloat. You probably are staying afloat. But why are you still making product? And your only marketing strategy is sending girls to Bora Bora, sending girls to Bali, sending girls to LA, sending girls to F1. That's your only marketing strategy? I fully don't know anybody that uses Tarte. So my thing is a couple things. One, what is the effectiveness of brand trips? And are they really even doing anything for the brand? And this is now outside of Tarte, but using Tarte as a vessel to talk about this. And two, yes, influencers have influence, but up until a certain point. Because what's happening is they're rotating the same 30 to 40 major influencers throughout brands on brand trips and giving them all the same brand deals, giving them all the same brand trip opportunities, and all the same free products. If influencer A has gone on a brand trip with NARS, Urban Decay, Tarte, Fenty, and this and this and this and that brand, and you're sitting up here on my phone, on my TikTok app telling me, oh, this brand is so great, this brand is so great. At that point, your credibility is kind of shot to me because you're telling me all 10 of these brands are that good. But I know for a fact all 10 of these brands took you on a brand trip. And I know for a fact all 10 of these brands are paying you to say great things about them. And you want to influence me to buy?
Well, I think, so this is from my understanding of what a brand trip really is. My understanding is that brand trips bring on people who are in the influencer industry, right? Who are established, well-known, who have a huge impact on the masses, to teach them about their product, but also to not to just teach them about their product or maybe an upcoming product, but also to bring them on a memorable experience that allows them to resonate that core memory and experience back to that brand. And it's also too, it's an exchange of you know, you've done X, Y, and Z for us, and we'd like to give that back to y'all for marketing our products throughout the year, whether that's through paid, organic, whatever. I think marketing trips, I think brand trips are very important because it brings influencers, one, together, but it also, like, whenever you're creating a community of people that you know you want to represent your brand, you have to make sure that you are keeping them up to date on what the brand is putting out. 2, you need to create community because any business knows that their most loyal customers feel like family. And then 3, you want people to have that memory of like, oh, this brand, every time I think of this brand, I think of that amazing trip I went on. Every time I see this product, it brings me back to when they first introduced it to me. Because it's a natural connection, a natural relationship. And I think that's why brand trips to me are very important. Where the issue comes with brand trips is that if you're not spreading the love, and if you're not bringing on different faces each time, and you're only focusing on very high level niche influencers that at a certain point may even lose touch with their audience, because as you grow, you're exposed to more things, you're exposed to more people, and you don't have those very niche like understanding of your audience anymore. And so that's why I said this in last week's episode. It's important that brands don't just bring on these macro, damn near celebrity like influencers. You need to also bring on your micro, and I'll be very honest with you, your nano girlies too.
I agree with that.
I personally, one of my goals is to go on a brand trip. When I went to my first ever brand event with Diva Curl, they sat there and introduced to us the way that they've completely revamped their products, how they are using dermatologists in mind of the scalp and hair care, which is very important. And they broke down to us what this product does, what that product does. They sat there and they said, if your hair feels like this is what you need to use. If you get your hair color treated, this is what you need to use. They not only presented us with products, but they also brought me around like-minded individuals, other curly haired people that I still talk to and follow today.
Well, I think so. To your point, I think that's what brand trips are supposed to be. And I think that's what they started out as.
Right.
And I think Diva Curl doing that, and brands like Topicals throwing brand trips, do it with intention behind it. But I don't think Tarte is doing it with intention behind it, other than the fact that's like, this is the only thing that works for us because nobody uses this. Like,
well, there's clearly people who are using it. It's just...
Okay, but like it's not outside of earned media value and brand trips. It's like they're not really real competitors. Like I've never seen anybody go to bat outside of 2015 when Shape Tape first came out.
Yeah,
go to bat.
The girls were eating up Shape Tape.
That was 10 years ago.
The girls were eating up Shape Tape.
10 years later, I can't tell you a product outside of that. Can't tell you what they do. And also, you're not diverse either. So it's kind of like, I don't want to spend my money here.
I remember I actually used to use Tarte back in the day. I used to have a couple of their eyeshadow palettes and I loved their makeup. I haven't picked up Tarte in a very long time. But that's, to your point, it's just the lack of marketing outside of these brand trips, because I couldn't tell you a product that I've used from Tarte in over 10 years, but then also too, I couldn't tell you what new products they have.
Exactly. And I even went to their, mind you, before I put this whole theory together, where I said the only marketing that works for them are brand trips, because they fully dropped a new product on and they brought the girls to Bora Bora for this brand trip. Now I watched as many Bora Bora videos as I could. Not one person talked about the product drop. I had to go to their Instagram and scroll through a couple videos, and then I finally went to Maureen Kelly's Instagram, the CEO, where she was like, we're dropping a product. And I said, I went through a good 20 to 30 videos, and I'm just now seeing yours that you're dropping a product. What is the effectiveness of this? And I think it works for some brands that, okay, you did the brand trip, what's next? Tarte does the brand trip, and then they schedule the next brand trip, therefore rendering their situation, like their whatever, ineffective, or their strategy ineffective. Now, I personally don't care because I've never given Tarte my dollars, and I won't give Tarte my dollars because I just don't think it's a good brand. Like, never. Like, I don't want to spend my money with Tarte, but I just think that, like, I don't know. That was just my whole theory. I just wanted to bring it to
I like
because it is brand trip season.
Yeah, I like the theory. And I will say, I think we're both on agreement that brand trips, they are crucial for
they can be impactful.
But you have to do it in a way, the way that Topicals brand trip happened. When I tell y'all,
oh my God.
I texted Chandler, I said, what do we need to do to be on the next one?
But I think Topicals in general, brand trip aside, and we will fully talk about this next week.
Well, yeah, Alameda knows how to. She was on the Forbes 30 under 30.
Topicals, aside from Ghana, even prior to Ghana, has some of the best marketing that I think everybody needs to take notes from. One, they use social media how it's supposed to be used. Casually. Social media, it can be informative, but it can also be casual and funny, and you can speak to your audience in a tone that's not pandering or philandering. It's very much like, hey girl, we got these eye patches, you want them? It's very community first. You see people that look like you. It's extremely diverse, and the branding is so strong that I can walk outside, see somebody wearing eye patches, boom. I can see you from a mile away. Topicals.
But also too, when Topicals came to the forefront, they came in a very similar way that Fenty.
They came strong.
Yes, in a similar way that
they came better
that
than Fenty.
Rihanna came with Savage X Fenty specifically,
okay.
Right? Savage X Fenty, well, even Fenty Beauty. Rihanna really shook up the fashion and beauty world. Rihanna, when she came out with all them foundation shades, when I tell y'all, she threw every makeup brand into a fucking tizzy.
Yes.
And then when she came out with those plus size models, there's a reason why you are seeing plus size models on the runways now, and it is because of Robin Rihanna Fenty. Okay? So that, like, and the thing about Topicals, when I heard about Topicals, I was running a beauty publication myself on TikTok. Shout out to Blended. If you know, you know.
Yeah, shout out Blended for real. Make sure you rest in peace.
And one of the girls who was on my team, she was like, have you heard of this girl, Alameda? Like, she came out with this brand Topicals. When she made that video, and basically the first thing that came to mind was, oh, this is for people of melanated skin. Yeah. This is skincare for melanated skin and melanated skin needs.
But skincare with a purpose behind it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because a lot of y'all drop brands, no purpose behind it. So now I'm wondering, why should I care? Why should I spend money
so you have a cleanser, you have an exfoliator. Okay, but do you have a product that is going to help melt away and lighten the dark circles, the dark blemishes that have been left on my skin, the dark marks, and melt them away? Are you doing that? Are you creating products specifically for different eczema symptoms? Because someone had to pull me aside not too long ago and was like, you know, Topicals has eczema products. No, I didn't even realize that. But you know what? Because of the fact that I've had experience with topical products, I'm ready to try it. I'm not even questioning it.
I'm a topical stan. You could fully sit here and tell me that the eye patches don't work. And I believe in the mission behind that brand so much that I would still.
The eye patches do work though.
They do work. But I'm saying, like, somebody from the team could be like, they don't work. And we can have proof that they don't work. And I would still spend my money because the mission behind it is so strong. And I believe in it so much.
But Alameda has also done the work to showcase that she knows what skin is.
Exactly. But that's the point I'm making when it comes to brands like Topicals doing brand trips. Because also, like, Topicals didn't take the girls to Bali. They took them to Ghana in December.
Brought them back to their... Okay, let's talk about that. The cultural roots.
But even just, like, the cultural piece of that, somebody was in that room working overtime. Like, you have to be, and shout out Joe, Miss Potholes. It is so big brained of you for you to sit up in that marketing meeting.
I love big brain
and being like, not only should we do a brand trip, we should invite influencers that have never been on brand trips before, so that have never been given that opportunity.
Yeah.
Like mid-tier influencers, macro influencers, but not anybody major that gets picked for everything. And not only put them on a trip, but put them on a trip to Ghana in December.
Which a lot of black people know in America. The time to go to Ghana.
Because I'm going to Ghana
December.
this December, Dirty December, I will be partaking.
Okay.
But the cultural piece and aspect of that.
Yeah.
They weren't thinking that. Tart was not thinking that when they took the girls to Bora Bora. They just thought, okay, how can we shake the table and spend a lot of money?
But even on that brand trip, right? So not only, because you have to understand the concept of you are bringing black people back to the motherland.
Yep.
Do you understand? That is you are breaking so many cultural trauma with that. Okay, this goes beyond, we're doing this because of because Ghana is hot right now, right? We are bringing stolen black folks, ancestrally enslaved and abused black folks back to the homeland to be not only with their people, but to enjoy what was supposed to be for us, right? And then on top of that, when they get there, you provide them hair to go get their hair braided.
Yeah, no, I also think
that is so tapped into who did we bring onto this brand ship.
I also think the itinerary behind that also shows who you had in the room, because they fully put in the itinerary time to go get braids. Built that into the itinerary time, because they knew. When we step out, like if I got invited on a brand trip to Ghana, I'm fully going to Ghana this year also so I can get my hair done as well. I'm going there, hair blown out. The first thing I'm doing when I get off that plane is I'm going to get my braids done.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get them into the ass. Yes, I want to middle part bust down. But anyway.
Brandy's micro.
Okay. But the fact that, because like let's say I get invited on a brand trip to Ghana, if you don't have braids built into the schedule, I'm coming a day early.
Hey.
So I can go get my hair done. And that's just a fact. Yep. That's simply just a fact.
But because Alamede's a black woman, she was thinking from the perspective, or whoever, set
the marketing
trip up.
Team. Just the marketing team.
It's very, and you can see this in the optics because Alamede shows her team. There are black women in the room.
It's all black.
Black women in the room. But the point is, when you see black women in the room, things come together. Things that you didn't even think you would want are presented to you. I know those girls were probably like, oh, I would just love to get my hair braided in Ghana. And then they showed up and they saw hair in their bathroom. Wait, not your inside my head right now.
But I also will say things like that only work for black-owned brands. Because if Tarte is taking the girls to Ghana,
well, not even black-owned brands, but you just need to have black people. You just need to have black people in the room, period.
Oh, you 100% need to have black people in the room. And I preach that all the time. But I'm saying, like, a trip like that only works for a black-owned brand. Because if I see a brand like Tarte with the history that they have, taking taking a group of black people to Ghana, knowing that the majority of the people on your team are probably white, your CEO is white, I'm gonna be like, oh, bitch, you're pandering.
Yeah, I can see how that comes off.
I'm not gonna want to go on that. A white woman taking me to Africa?
Chandler, please.
But I just think like stuff like that, and also like there is the cultural piece, but like forget the cultural piece altogether, the intention.
Yeah.
And Topicals did not drop a product, but they believed in that brand so much that they were wearing eye patches to the club. Giving them out to others. Again, marketing. Y'all make me want to go to everyday people and get on that fucking rooftop and wear my eye patches. That's how strongly I feel about this fucking brand. But
honestly, we should start doing that. I'm gonna start taking pictures outside with my Topicals patches.
But
they're cute.
I leave the house in my eye patches.
Yeah.
I fully went somewhere the other day and had my eye patches on. I did not give a fuck because they're cute. But when the girls see me walk down the street, they know what I have on. Like the girls be, I fully had a girl look at me, start nodding and laugh. And it's like, absolutely, you know what time it is over here.
Also, too, and I want to say this, the white girlies love Topicals, too.
They do.
And let me just say this. Because if the thing is, if your brand is good, your brand is good. And anybody's going to support, anybody's going to support it. And you want to know another brand that's marketing is so well done, that is so black up and down, but still has the white girlies in a chokehold.
Telfar.
Thank you. Did I have to say it?
Fun fact.
They are putting on productions.
Fun fact. Mm-hmm. The white women were really tapped into Telfar before black people were.
I'm sure they were
fully in New York on the subway with their shopping bag.
But that's New York.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like, I think they were like, bitch, Telfar. But I also think Telfar is also another brand, fashion brand, social strategy out of this fucking world. But again, this is what happens when you have black people on your team.
And not only does the thing about Telfar, and we won't go too far because Telfar could be a whole different episode, but the thing about Telfar is they understand who their target audience is.
Yes.
It's the blacks and the queers.
Yep.
Okay?
A majority of us.
If you look at the influencers that they've worked with, Cleotrapa, aka Cleo, they had her in a whole brand. Maya the Don.
Yeah.
That denim.
She fully gave out a Telfar bag on when she was on tour with Flo Milli. Like, but I also think, and this speaks to, one, not only having black people in the room, but I feel so strongly about a lot of black-owned brands, not all of them, but a good portion of them, because they do their best to give opportunities to the girls that 100% would get picked over by these bigger and brands that maybe have one black person working for them.
Yeah.
It was intentional. And this is no shade to Monet, but it was intentional. Monet did not get an invite on that topical strip because you would have gotten an invite from somewhere else. It was intentional that they chose who they chose.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah,
and they give opportunities to these creators with maybe 50K,
get often overlooked.
Who not even often, they do get overlooked all the time. Kyra, has been on YouTube for years. I think almost 500,000 subscribers. Fully was like, this is my first brand trip ever.
That's crazy.
She was like, I've never been invited on anything
and she
before.
puts on film.
Yes,
full ass production.
And y'all, if you please, we go drop her in the we go drop her right here.
Yeah.
But if you watch her YouTube videos,
you feel like you're watching a movie.
This hour and a half, 2 hours.
But even the way that it's shot and
yes,
edited feels very movie-esque.
Yes, like fully, and even putting me on to new creators that I had never heard before.
Yeah.
Or never even seen before.
Yeah.
But the content is so good. But we can fully talk about this all day.
I know. Ooh, I love black brands. Maybe we need to have an episode on just black brands, but that's another conversation.
But I just wanted to bring to the floor regarding Tarte, just because as a girl that works not only in social and in marketing, I am very aware of earned media value. But earned media value with no product sales renders your business strategy ineffective. And that's all. I have no fashion fodder this week.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the Martini Club.
Let's get to it. Cheers. Today we are having just a little pineapple cocktail.
Yeah. A little pineapple, a little soda, seltzer, and vodka.
Today's submission we have from a woman in Dallas, Texas, who is 25 years old, and she accidentally dated a pair of roommates. One time I accidentally dated a pair of roommates. This is what I get for dating on Hinge. Now I do have a type. This is especially when it comes to men. I love the artsy man. She said artsy nigga, but yeah. Y'all know we're talking about speaking code. And this is where my problem began. So I see a couple guys that I like. To be honest, a lot of my likes are people that kind of fit my type, so I think nothing of it. I'm matching with people and starting conversations, and I end up going on a date the same week. Let's call him Jay. Jay was really nice. He's a personal trainer and in all caps, a working model. A lot of these models do not work. And she put that in the subtitles. A lot of these models do not work. It was a good date. And at the end, he mentioned that he was going down to Austin the next weekend for a fashion show. So we couldn't hang out until the following week. I'm like, cool, whatever. Mm-hmm. The next week, Wednesday, I go on a date with another guy. Let's call him Mark.
Okay. He's Jay and Mark.
He's a graphic designer, working in corporate, but building a brand with his best friend.
Very artsy.
I'm like, this guy is really cool. Our vibe was intense, but immediate chemistry. Okay. So we're texting a lot after the date, and the weekend comes up. I ask what he has planned. He says, I'm driving down to Austin right now with my roommate. He's in a fashion show.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna lie. I have a very strong intuition, and I knew immediately that Jay and Mark were roommates because it's just too oddly similar to what Jay told me.
Oh,
I tried to talk myself down, but there's one more person. I tried to talk myself down, like there's more than one person going to this fashion show. It could just be a different guy. But I simply knew the truth. The sheer unbelievability of it all made me ask him, is your roommate Jay?
No.
He said,
no, she didn't ask.
Yeah. And that's when I said, yeah, I think I went on a date with your roommate last week. I was so horrified, but also I was gagged. And I can only imagine the conversation in that car. But at the end of it, they decided to just charge it to the game. And basically they told me it's kind of up to what I want to do.
Oh.
Now I feel like I need to choose a roommate to date, which is crazy because I've only been on one date with both. Or I guess I could go out with both for a while and decide what should I do.
Wait. Okay, first of all, to date roommates, it feels ancestral. But I'ma just clock it. It feels ancestral. I don't care if those niggas don't talk. I can't date both of them.
Well, to be fair, she didn't know.
She did not know, right? But she's considering to continue to date the both of them and let.
Well, no. She said she only went on one date with each of them, but she could date the both of them, but she didn't know what to do. She said she could.
Right. So again, I'm
a firm believer in get yours. So if you want to date the both of them, go ahead. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Do you know how messy that is? That causes so much drama outside of you. I'm not trying to break up a happy home.
They need to be men and be like, well, actually, I don't want to do this. It's not a happy home. They're not together. They're roommates.
You can still have a roommate and hate each other and it not be a happy home.
What that got to do with me?
But the point is,
ladies, get yours.
I'm not agreeing with Chandler on this one.
You don't
because
have to.
my thing is what.
That's not her husband.
I didn't say it was.
I know, I'm just saying.
I'm not saying it was. And also, too, if it was her husband, she would not be dating anyone else. But I think personally that it's giving you need to pick and choose, or you need to go ahead and leave it all alone. Because at some point, it's going to become a problem. Men love to sit here and be like, oh, it's not going to bother me. But let me tell you, when men's heart gets broken, it's way worse than when a woman's heart gets broken. Women are resilient. Okay, we bring life into this fucking earth. Men, they get their little heart broken. It's World War III.
Again, that don't have nothing to do with her.
But the point is that I'm not trying to have that much turmoil because the thing is, I fully believe what goes around comes back around. And you may cause a whole dramatic situation that you might be removed from, but trust and believe that shit could pop up on you one day.
Yes, what goes around comes around. But if I fully date the both of you, not knowing that y'all are roommates, not knowing that y'all know each other, and then it just so happens that y'all are, I bring it to you and I say, hey, da-da-da-da, and then they have a conversation, they say, I could do whatever I want to do, like I could still continue to date both of them, I could pick, I could choose.
So what happens when you go over to their apartment?
Who said we're even gonna get there? We gotta pass the second date first.
Right, but what if it gets to the point, Chandler, where both of them is working out? Because there's a possibility, she said, that she might continue talking to them. So if there's a possibility...
Who said I wanted to go to your house? I got a house. I got an apartment. I got a place.
So we just gonna play Allegiant and never go to his house?
At some point, I will go over there. If we get to the point where I'm going to your house and I know your roommate is going to be over there,
God, it's not
then
a good situation.
I would say, okay, now I need to end it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with going on a second date with the both of them for you to really find out and see. I'm not saying date them for
maybe
months.
A second date, but
a second or maybe even a third date to figure out. 3 dates is very low stakes. You know how many niggas I did 3 dates with and it just didn't go anywhere?
I agree. It's really.
I'm not saying create a roster. I'm just saying go on a couple dates, a couple more.
Right. I agree with you. I'm just saying this is a living situation. And at some point, it's even going to be weird because even if she does just decide to move forward with one, that other one is going to still be living there. And if she does come visit him, it's going to be awkward.
Not really.
Okay.
I don't think so. Because it's just
right.
It's one or
Some of y'all try to sit here and pretend like y'all emotions are not involved.
No, it's 1 or 2 dates. I didn't say have sex with the both of them. I simply said go on a couple more dates with either
but
of them
some
and decide
people,
what you want to do.
Some people, when they first meet each other, they like, and it could just be one-sided. Someone may be like, I really like this person.
Well, then you, on your end, as a man, need to sit up here and say, hey, you need to speak up. Say, actually, I don't want to do that. Actually, that makes me uncomfortable. Then if you proceed to do what you want to do, then that's a different situation. But because also like the three of us are now involved. Everybody can have a say. If you don't say what you need to say, then that's it. So,
but at the end of the day, it's still gonna be messy. It's gonna end up being messy regardless.
It don't have to be messy.
Ooh, Taryn just scared the shit out of me. You're good.
It don't have to be messy.
It doesn't have to be, but real humans and how humans act, I'm just being realistic.
Whatever. I don't think she's that wrong. But I mean, it was only one day. It's not like you were full. It's
well,
a
then
roster
I don't think she's wrong at all with the situation. She didn't know. But I'm saying moving forward could be some problems. That's all I'm saying.
Do what's best for you, girl. So if you want to go on a second date with the both of them, do that. But that's for the Martini Club.
Yeah, I think we might have finished our 6th episode.
6 full weeks, or 7 weeks, because we skipped a week.
Yeah.
7 full weeks of feminine chaos.
We're 4 episodes out from our 10 episode.
Our 10.
And that's going to be like a huge, like, monumental moment. I know 10's probably like so little to people in the podcast world, but like, I don't know. That's huge to me.
10 is big.
10 is big to me.
Because a lot of girls don't make it to 10. A lot of people do a lot of shit.
Oh, that's true. And that's like
don't make it to 10.
That's a statistic. They say that a lot of people don't even make it to 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So you gotta stay tuned in with us, okay? You can follow me and Chan on the social medias. You can follow me at _MommyTiff. That's MAMITIFF _ on Instagram. And then you can follow me on Twitter, God. And then you can follow me on TikTok and YouTube at MAMITIFF. And then you can follow Chandler on Instagram at CHAN.
And Twitter.
Is it the same handle?
Yeah.
Okay. CHANDLERCCARTER. Chandler C. Carter. And then you can follow Chandler on TikTok under Chandelicia, CHANDELYCIA. And then you can follow the pod on Instagram and TikTok under feminine.chaos. I'm not spelling that one for you. And then you can follow us at Feminine Chaos Podcast, or just look up Feminine Chaos Podcast on YouTube. And then if you just look up Feminine Chaos on any podcast, streaming service, which is obviously probably how you're listening to us outside of YouTube, you can follow us there. But also, too, y'all, rate this podcast.
Please rate us.
Please rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify specifically, if you can. I know a lot of y'all watch us on YouTube, and I'm so grateful. But if you were to just, after watching the podcast, go leave us a review on said podcast streaming services, that would be amazing. Also, too, thank you for commenting on YouTube. We always respond to your comment. So if you want to comment, you have a question, or you just want to share some love,
or if you have any topics you want us to talk about,
yes, if you ever want us to discuss certain topics, you can DM the page. You can email us. What's our email?
femininechaospodcast@gmail.com.
Period.
We thank y'all so much for the support.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Cheers, bitch.
Cheers, bitch.